Tony Morton, and I'm a level designer here at Triumph.
Okay.
I'm Bill Trost. I'm the creative lead for Defiance.
Christian Arretche, I'm the design development manager.
Okay. So what do your jobs entitle?
Yeah,
Just
right
a
on.
quick, brief overview.
Sure. I have been doing all the level design for the PvP maps, as well as Shadow War implementation, so open world PvP as well.
So I've been on the project from the beginning, and so I was responsible for interacting with sci-fi early on, and still to this day with establishing what Defiance is and laying the foundation for the gameplay and overseeing that.
Okay.
I manage the design team here as well as the overall development goals for Defiance.
Okay. Now with Defiance only a week away, or like like we were talking.
What are you talking about? What?
Yeah,
Why did nobody tell me these things?
That was just a surprise.
me too.
There's been most of the questions we're going to ask today is stuff from the forums and stuff that we've seen being asked through the community. For one, with it coming out on digital order and hard copy,
Yes.
are we going to be looking at like a preload for the game, like for PC where you can download the client early, or?
Yeah, actually,
Is that still an open question, or is that?
We're actually trying to answer that right now. Actually,
Yeah.
so we're trying to resolve that right now.
Okay.
So.
And if people going along the same lines, would people who have had beta access be able to update the client, their current client, or would you be looking at like a fresh install?
Same idea. We're trying to resolve. Like if you've been in the beta, then you should be able to just continue to update the existing client. But we'll have official answers out later. But yes, we're trying to resolve it right now.
Okay, with the game's pre-order, you've got a hefty pre-order schemes from different retailers and online retailers. Are they character specific, or are they going to be account so that it can be on any of the different characters?
Account.
Those are all account specific.
Yeah.
They're all account specific.
Yep.
And how would you look at retrieving these items in game?
Through the store.
Through the store.
Yep. That should be you log into your account, you go back and actually accept like that pre-order code, and then once you go into a game, you should just be able to retrieve it within game within that store. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Right. After launch, we said that you've got the DLCs and stuff that are coming in the future. And how many DLC packs are we looking at having?
There are 5 that we've committed to with the season pass.
Yeah.
And but then there's there's additional updates that are going to happen outside of that are just part of being a player at Defiance. You'll get those.
Okay. Now, without going into major spoilers and everything like that, what kind of stuff could we be looking at? Just like Therian for the DLCs?
So we've talked about expanding upon some of the things that players will see day one live, like expanding Shadow War, expanding Arc Falls, potential storylines, but it's going to be, we have an idea of what we want, but it's also going to we want to have the ability to be able to see what our players are reacting to. So if they go, yeah, we're really digging Shadow War, then it's how do we expand upon Shadow War, or again, if there's a narrative update that we want to be able to provide people with, new storyline, new cinematics, in addition to things that might be television tie-in, then we want to be able to have room for that. So we've got the major pieces kind of staked out, but again, I'm kind of curious to see what the players actually
We've also
really want.
within the plan there's some flexibility so that we can be reactive to things that players are enjoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like set in stone as it
Correct.
stands.
Correct.
It's the community and how they
We
interact
want,
with the game.
We're an online game. We want to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Okay, going down a more specific route, there's a lot of people liking the PvP from the betas we've seen. Not only the
I still have a job.
not only Shadow Wars, but also the instance PvP.
Yeah.
I believe during the beta it was Freight Yard and Observatory
Correct.
that we saw.
Yep.
Now, what could we be looking at for the future of PvP? Proper like team matches, ranked, all that sort of stuff. The ability to have, say, Waterfront 6v6, isn't it?
Yeah, Waterfront 6v6, Observatory is 8v8, and for a year it is 16v16.
Okay. Now, could we be looking at groups that are primarily like friends grouped together to do this? So you get a 6-man via pre-made, in other words.
Yeah, so I mean, you can do up to, we have 4 main groups. So, you know, you can get up to with 4 of your buddies to go ahead and join in the match. So, I mean, as far as like full on, you know, 16 player pre-mades, that's not something that we support right now. But, you know, never say never. Not going to throw that out the window. But as it sits right now, 4 main groups are as big as we group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So could we be looking at maybe tournaments in the future where you have like a tournament structure and set amount of teams fight against each other for the crown?
So, you know, we've been looking at things like guild or clan wars and things like that to structure to get more of a social event out of it. You know, at a lot of conventions I've been asked about things even as far as, what do you call it? Pulling a blank right now.
Chess
What are you trying to say?
I'm tired.
low.
No, competitive.
Esports.
Esport,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Esport. I mean, we've even been asked about things like esport.
Yeah.
And right now, you know, with launch right around the corner, the thing that we're trying to concentrate on the most is smooth gameplay and a smooth experience for the user. And that really is our first and foremost focus. So that's right now, that's what we're concentrating on, make sure that everything works as well as it can.
But once again, like when you asked about the expansion or the DLC, that's another reason why we have that plan, kind of a framework for it set, but we have a lot of open areas in there too, so that if PvP is really resonating with people, we have the room to expand on it.
Yeah.
I know when I spoke to Rob Hill in December at London at the event there, we were talking about esports and how spectator modes and stuff like that. So that could maybe come in the DLC, such kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the potential, right?
Okay. Right, more on to the foundations of the game and grouping. You were saying that you've got the 4-man groups. How do the shards and phases work in the game? You know, like joining your friends, finding where they are, because we know that you've got your NA, well, if it's still right with the beta, you've got your NA servers and your EU servers.
Correct.
But then it's like tiered in there. Is that a basic understanding of what it is?
So the NA servers are going to be their own thing, and the EU servers are going to be their own thing.
No, not. I mean, like when you all log into the server, there's not going to be hundreds of thousands of people occupying that one space.
Correct.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that's like sharding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're sharded, shardless, I guess.
It's
You don't
it
come
should be seamless
on.
to you and you'll always have the ability to group with your friends and get together with your friends. So we're really taking advantage of the friends list for that, and as well as you'll have direct functionality to be able to move yourself where you want to be.
Yeah. Okay, and we saw in the beta sometimes where you were wanting to help your friends out and you were there in the same area, but you've already completed a mission and they're going to do that mission and you go out of phase.
Yeah.
Is that a way that you're thinking about grouping up people and such like that to keep them grouped to go through the game as a group?
Well, I mean, in that particular instance, it would be like if I completed the mission and then these guys were about to start that, they'd have to pop out of that mission and rejoin with me, so we'd be in the same phase of that mission, and I could actually help them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another main question people have asked: is there a max inventory slots at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Can you tell us what it is?
No.
Yeah, because it's just people have seen all the stuff in the shop and all the things they've been asking what it is. So at least there is a maximum one, and we'll just have to find that out for ourselves.
If you chase down some ArcFall codes online or the Arc Hunter codes online, you can get yourself a few extra inventory slots.
Yeah.
So.
I believe they yesterday they got all 120.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
They found 20 in a day while I was on a plane.
That's pretty good, actually.
Going through with loot drops and such like that, do you run a totally random system for the weaponry, for the items, or do specific mobs and specific bosses have specific loot tables?
So specific bosses and specific ranks, whether they're elites or whatnot, will drop certain kinds of loot, or have a higher chance to drop specific kinds of loot. But the weapons and stuff, it's all randomly generated, and it's all based off your power rating.
Yep.
Okay.
So this way, you're always getting stuff that you can use, and not stuff that's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now going, it's been asked a lot, this is more of an interaction between the TV show and the game. How are we looking at interacting with the TV show? What's...
Just as examples? Or?
Yeah, well, as a basic, if you'd like to explain...
There's the way that we really view the two things is as two windows kind of into the same science fiction universe. So there's subtle things. There's all just all the contextual connections that link the two together. Then there's direct things that will move back and forth between over the course of the season of the television show. And the most obvious example of that, it happens right at the very beginning of the game, where the two main characters of the television show actually start in the game, because the game is launching on April 2nd. The show launches 2 weeks later on April 15th, and Nolan and Arissa are two main characters within the television show, who are arc hunters who are in the Bay Area, and the players will actually have encounters with them, have go on little adventures with them, and the culmination of those adventures leads directly into the situation that they find themselves in at the beginning of the pilot. We have several things like that going on throughout the course of the season, where characters will move back and forth, and the influence on those on what they did either within the show or the game is carried along with them. Then there are several other things where it is an even more direct connection, where players, I think, will really feel that what they have done within the game world has impacted the lives of the people in the television show. I can't really get into specifics on that because it's too much of a spoiler, but we have an event like that.
It goes both ways.
Yep.
Okay, a while ago, I believe it was maybe the Comic-Con last year, they were saying that there's a chance for a player to have his name in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Is this still a possibility?
It's very much still a possibility. I'm not ready to say exactly what the specifics of that are yet, but there is an opportunity like that happens in season 1.
Yeah.
And more about they were saying about keeping the names right.
Mm-hmm.
There's people with...
That's always going to be part of it too. If you want to win the contest, you got to be smart about entering the contest.
Yeah, that's very diplomatic. Very true.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Yeah.
deep, actually.
That's pretty good,
Talk
actually.
to me, Gregor.
Yeah. Well, that's you.
Right, we're going to finally...
I'm not ready to call HR.
Right, we're going to finish off with some client-based questions, the actual game client sort of thing. Aim assist seems to be quite aggressive on it. It does help a lot. Is this as a factor as it is intended, or is it a bit heavy at the moment?
Right now, I'd say it's closer to as intended.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do, and one of the things that we have since we are a live game, we can constantly balance and change things. And things like how heavy the aim assist is, so as we get feedback from the community and how players are feeling, we can tune these kinds of things. We had to, when we built Defiance, we want to make it extremely accessible. So that's when we put in the aim snap, obviously, or the aim assist, I should say, not snap, for the consoles to help with that. And you should notice that on the consoles, they actually have a little bit more aim assist than what we give on PC. Because again, PC has the agility of the mouse and the keyboard, so.
Okay. Another one that seems to have cropped up over the last couple of weeks is field of view.
Mm-hmm.
And there being a lack of a slider in the settings. Is this going to stay, or is it something that will be looked at in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Future, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something. I mean, if the PC players are asking for it, whatever, we're going to evaluate it just like every other request.
Mm-hmm.
And so for sure, there's no religion with that, decision. It's just, it's not there now, and if people really want it, we'll discuss about putting it in the future.
Okay. Another one for the PC, and a lot of these are from PC players, is there's no raw input for the mouse in the game?
Mm-hmm.
Was this be another aspect of looking at it in the future, and if the people request it, having a look
Sure.
at it
Yeah,
from there?
absolutely.
Totally.
I mean, again, we're going to be looking to, in a lot of these things, we're going to be looking to see what the players are actually responding to and what they're
Yeah.
actually suggesting. And for us, having developed this for a while now, it's going to be, let's look to the forums, let's see
Mhm.
what folks
Yeah.
are talking about. So
Yeah, I mean, one of the good things I think you can look at is as far as trying goes, is, take a look at Rift. There was a lot of community uprising, a lot of people were making requests about cool things they'd like to see in Rift.
yeah.
And, as a company, we had reacted to that and tried to give them as much of that as we can, and, it continues for Defiance.
That's, we view ourselves as a connected games company, and that's the strength of that model, is that we have the ability to communicate directly with our customers and respond to what they're asking for. So
Yeah.
that's how you keep customers. So
It goes right back into the idea of the season pass,
yeah.
Yeah.
having room.
Having
Yeah.
room, and it's
Yeah.
not fire and forget.
Yep.
Okay, the last thing I want to touch base on is with it being a shooter, with it being third person, and primarily being a shooter and skill based. A lot of games I'd say the last 5-10 years have been played with cheats, aimbots, hacks, wall hacks, and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
What are you looking at doing to take that away from? Well, not take that away from, because I'm not saying it's already in there,
Right,
but
right.
to prevent that in Defiance.
Yeah, so being the PvP guy, it's always been one of my biggest things in Warriors is aimbots and cheating and all that kind of stuff. Without going into too much detail, we have things that are server side that will look for things like aimbots and cheating and whatnot. Now, one of the other things that we do have is, since we are a live game, we do have GMs and customer service and all that kind of stuff. So keep an eye on accounts, and we take tons and tons of metrics, keep an eye on metrics, and so we're being very agile, just keeping an eye open on that kind of thing. So again, can't go into a whole lot of
Cheaters
detail.
can ruin a game, and we're going to be very aggressive at preventing it and pursuing those that do.
Mhm.
Okay.
Bill's going to find you.
Yeah, so, there has to be zero tolerance.
So, yeah, Bill's going to find you.
Yeah, and he'll probably take his hat off, so just watch out.
It's only good business.
We'll bring the
Now, with you saying there's stuff on server side that would help detect the hacks and stuff like that, it's been a history of at least over the last year that it's been seeing programs, stuff like TeamSpeak Overlay and SweetFX. Do you know what SweetFX is?
That one I'm not.
No.
No, it's adds to the graphics kind of thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
But it has often been brought up as a cheat, because it's changing graphics and stuff like that. Would you be looking at,
There's obviously a fine line between community enhancements to the game and cheating, and it requires some diplomacy and thought to be put into each case, right? And so no, we're not going to blanketly say every mod is a cheat, because I don't think that's realistic.
It's going to be case by case. I mean, honestly, it will just be, we would look at something like the TeamSpeak thing and we go,
Yeah.
we're not going to stop anybody from using something like that. But again, if it's PvP and
They figured out how to highlight a player.
highlight a player or that's going to be a problem, right?
Yeah.
That unbalances it.
Okay, well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
Sure.
And we're all looking forward to the game. And I bet you're all looking forward to
When does
some
it come
time.
out?
When's it come out? Yeah, when
April
does it come
2nd.
out?
April 2nd, 6 days.
And
6 days.
just
Well,
a
they really
just a
should
slight
do
plug.
that.
What does it come out on?
Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.
There you go.
As well as a television show on the Sci-Fi Channel on April
What date is that?
April 15th.
April 15th.
April 15th.
That's right.
There you go.
April 2nd.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.